National Assembly leadership to brief 36 state governors on crucial constitution alteration bills before voting in both chambers. Organized labor presses evolution of stronger strategies to confront emerging challenges, stresses safeguarding workers' rights. DSS releases suspected IPOB member detained since 2022, awards 5 million naira compensation on Medicare. Hello and welcome to the news at 11 on NTA News 24. We're live from Abuja. I am Comfort Fashim. Nigeria has intensified the bid to secure permanent seats with veto-wielded authority in the United Nations Security Council for Africa, insisting that a comprehensive reform of the global governance system is long overdue. President Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, made the call during the first plenary session on peace, security, governance and multilateralism at the 7th African Union-European Union Summit in Luanda, Angola, tasking the European Union with co-creating peace and security initiatives alongside its African partners, anchored on African-led frameworks as a pathway to achieving sustainable stability across the continent. President Tinubu disclosed that over 250,000 Boko Haram-affiliated individuals had surrendered in early 2025 following the Nigerian government's kinetic and non-kinetic measures. The president stressed that the challenges of armed conflicts, illicit weapons, climate pressures, irregular migration and political instability across Africa now demand stronger cooperation. While acknowledging that the EU has remained one of the AU's most reliable partners since the creation of the African Peace and Security Architecture in 2002. The president recalled that Nigeria's experience has shown that regional instability, if left unchecked, fuels terrorism, insurgency, banditry and transnational organized crime. On the security situation, the president called for an EU initiative anchored on African-led frameworks and regional ownership to drive positive outcomes. And on irregular migration, the president advised that the issue must be addressed in a manner that acknowledges its deep economic and demographic drivers, as criminalizing mobility has only compounded insecurity across the continent and beyond. He further stressed that Nigeria firmly believes that peace and security initiatives in Africa must be African-led, implemented through legitimate platforms. The National Assembly leadership says the 36 state governors will be briefed this week on crucial constitution alteration bills before voting takes place in both chambers. This was disclosed at a meeting of the Joint Senate and House of Representatives Committee on the review of the 1999 Constitution in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Mitairi Ikpe reports.
The meeting is to harmonize the positions of both chambers on the constitutional alteration bills, especially those relating to devolution of powers to subnational governments, creation of states and local governments, as well as state police. The joint committee is also putting finishing touches to memoranda received from Nigerians at various constitution review public hearings nationwide, which have been aggregated by several subcommittees. The goal is to transmit the bills to the state houses of assembly this year after voting is concluded.
This meeting will also serve the purpose of ensuring that the state houses of assembly are critical and strategic partners in the business of amending our constitution are fully brought on board.
To the governors who may be watching, whom we will brief on Wednesday, be assured that this is not an attempt to undermine executive authority. It is an effort to strengthen federalism, improve governance, and deliver the democracy Nigerians deserve.
Meanwhile, the Southeast Caucus in the House of Representatives has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to consider using his constitutional powers to pardon IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu despite the life sentence he got from the recent judgment. The caucus says its appeal follows a review of the ruling and the implications for peace, security and stability of the Southeast region and the nation at large.
It is our belief that an act of clemency by the president would resonate deeply across the country as a symbol of inclusiveness, fairness, and leadership that prioritizes healing over division. It will send a clear message that dialogue is still possible, even in difficult circumstances.
The House of Representatives Southeast Caucus says it remains committed to working with the federal government to advance national unity, inclusive governance, and stability across all regions. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has called on the Kebbi State government to immortalize the late Vice Principal Hassan Yakubu Makuku of Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, who lost his life while defending students during the recent abduction. Lawmakers who were on a sympathy visit to the state, led by the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, urged that the school be renamed in his honor as a lasting tribute and an inspiration to future generations. Abdul Jalil Muhammad Bawa reports.
The visit began with special prayers for the lady vice principal and the school watchman who tragically lost their lives, as well as for the safe rescue of the abducted students. The Speaker of the House, while acknowledging the effort of both the federal and state government, expressed the House's deep concern over the abduction and pledged full collaboration with all relevant authorities to ensure the safe return of the schoolgirls.
It is a demonstration, a wake-up call to all of us, we in the national and you at the sub-national level, to continue to think outside the box on how we can contain this very big devil of insecurity that has bedeviled this nation.
Governor Nasru Idris granted the Speaker's request to immortalize the Vice Principal, thanked the lawmakers for their visit, and reaffirmed the ongoing joint effort by the federal and state government, along with security agencies, to bring the student home safely.
We are always ready to partner with the federal government because security issue, federal government cannot do it alone. We must partner. We must participate.
The Speaker announced that the House will dedicate its next plenary session to discussing the Kebbi abduction. He also donated 30 million naira to the families of the late Vice Principal and the school watchman. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Jalil Muhammad Bawa, NTA News.
As global economic and technological change continue to redefine the world of work, organized labor is pressed to evolve stronger strategies to confront emerging challenges. At the 21st edition of the NLC Hamatan School, President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joseph Ajaero, stressed the urgency of safeguarding workers' rights in this shifting landscape. Joseph Otsen reports.
The annual NLC Hamatan School has once again brought together labor leaders from across the country for intensive training on emerging issues in the world of work. The program is designed to equip union leaders with modern strategies to address the evolving challenges facing workers. This year's edition focuses on the theme, Workers' Rights in the context of global economic crisis and technological advancement.
It is our job to decode the relationship between technology, capital, and insecurity, and build working-class response that prioritizes people over profit.
So workers' wages are declining. issues around governance of work, dialogue, which is a key instrument of governing industrial relations. So civic space has shrunk.
Labour experts at this event note that today's worker is navigating a complex environment marked by climate change, rising unemployment, corruption, insecurity, and a growing migration crisis, all factors that continue to shrink opportunities for decent work and weaken collective bargaining power.
If all the monies that are generated by the economy of a country are channeled into education, into healthcare and other basic livelihoods to ensure that the citizens of a country are comfortable.
The Nigerian Labour Congress must accept that the technological changes we face must be turned into opportunities to wipe out poverty, inequality, illiteracy, violence, and crimes.
With much deliberations, participants recommend stronger social dialogue and adoption of advanced technology to enhance productivity and expand fair job opportunities for Nigerian workers. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
Security agencies are to reinforce deployment of personnel to schools across Nasarawa State to ensure security and guarantee safe learning environments. This was the resolution reached after an emergency security meeting convened by the state government with all heads of security agencies in the state. Aliyu Tijani tells us more.
Governor Abdullahi Sule, who just returned from South Africa after attending the G20 summit, summons critical stakeholders in the security architecture to discuss the current security situation in the country. In attendance are all heads of security agencies in the state, some traditional rulers and local government chairmen, as well as top government officials.
We are taking a decision collectively. When we were taking this decision to hold this meeting, we make sure we invited all those who are relevant, especially those that have to do with our various schools. But I think beyond schools, we are also interested in protecting the welfare of our own people all across the state.
The closed-door meeting resolves that there should be adequate deployment of security personnel in schools across the state, in line with the Safe School initiative. Also, security personnel will intensify patrol and surveillance, especially in flashpoints, to protect lives and property.
We have decided to intensify security surveillance, patrol, all the vulnerable areas, black spots. We have to mount all our surveillance, we have to mount all our people. It's not only the police. We do it in conjunction with the police, military, civil defense, and other sister agencies, including JTF. We are going to draft them.
The meeting urges the public to remain calm and go about their lawful businesses as government assures of adequate security across the state. In Lafia, Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has directed heads of security agencies in the state to move into identified flashpoints occupied by suspected groups and individuals, demolish their illegal structures, and make the state inhabitable for criminally minded people. Hakim Jimo reports that Governor Abiodun gave the order at a crucial meeting with heads of security agencies in the state as he commends President Bola Tinubu's efforts at combating insecurity across the country.
Following the spate of insecurity across the country in the last few weeks, there is palpable fear in Ogun State. It is to address this that Ogun State Governor called for security meeting with heads of security in the state. Briefing journalists after a closed-door meeting with the Security Council in Ogun State, Governor Abiodun commended President Tinubu's steps taken so far to curtail insecurity in some parts of the country.
I have instructed our law enforcement agencies to move into these type of settlements. We have them in Djibouti, we have them in Ota, we have them all over the whole place.
we are going to demolish all those places and we are going to occupy them and own them.
The governor noted that the state government is compiling a comprehensive database of residents across the state, while the activities of scavengers will be restricted.
We have gotten reports there are people that come from other countries and are here for no constructive reasons. The law enforcement agencies have arrested a few between the last 3-4 days, numbering about 70 persons that have come from Chad, Sudan, and not only that, they don't speak English.
The governor, who emphasized the importance of interagency collaboration, advised residents of the state to give useful information for prompt actions. In Abeokuta, Akim Jimo, NTA News.
All right, let's take a short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
Furniture's legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections. Classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to the only tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality, and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use Erisco tomato paste and products. 100% natural tomato. Better food na correct. Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount. Erisco tomato paste.
This is NTA News 24.
Barely 1 month after ordering the release and compensation of one Abuja-based businesswoman, Mrs. Chineze Ozoadibe, the Director General, State Security Services, DSS, Oluwatosin Adeola Ajayi, has ordered the release of one Kenneth Okechukwu Nwafo, arrested in July 2022 for his alleged involvement in the activities of the proscribed indigenous peoples of Biafra, IPOB. The Director General also awarded Nwafo, who hails from Isokwato local government area of Abia State, 5 million naira as compensation for the wrongful arrest and free Medicare. Credible security sources revealed that detailed investigation conducted by personnel of the service exonerated Nwafo. The source noted that the release and compensation are in line with the Director General's directive that all the cases he inherited be reviewed to ensure due process and prompt dispensation of justice. Christians in Borno State have observed a one-day fasting and prayer session in response to the call by the Borno State government for divine intervention amidst the resurgence of insurgency for the peace and development of Borno, the Northeast, and Nigeria at large. Pauline Kuje Vana reports.
The statewide prayer, initiated by Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, brought together members of the Christian community to seek peace, unity and stability for the state and the entire nation. Chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Kan Borno State, represented by the Secretary, Pastor Joshua Markel, encouraged Christians to call upon God in difficult times, assuring them that he hears and answers prayers.
To pray that God should give our leaders, most especially His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, the President, the wisdom needed, and also the security personnel, all the tactics and the logics needed for them to eliminate those terrorists.
Northeast Kan Chairman Bishop Mohammed William Naga described Governor Zulum as a leader with strong spiritual consciousness and commended him for organizing the prayer program at such a critical moment.
I plead with the 5 other state governors to emulate His Excellency, the Executive Governor, who much value peace. In fact, there were so many strategies planned to end Boko Haram and other insurgency and terrorists, but the Lord in His mercy have designed it this way.
Guest preacher, Reverend Titus Pona, referenced Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, urging believers to seek God earnestly in times of hardship and insecurity like this, assuring them that God responds to the cries of His people. Prayers of thanksgiving, supplications for divine intervention, petitions for wisdom and guidance for Governor Zulum and security personnel, as well as intercessions for lasting peace in Borno State, the Northeast and Nigeria were collectively offered. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
NNPC Limited has announced its financial performance for the full year ended 2024, reporting a profit after tax of 5 trillion naira on revenue of 45.1 trillion naira. Benny Adams reports that the Group Chief Executive Officer, Bayo Ojulari, while briefing journalists in Abuja, pledged strategic investments to sustain growth into next decade.
The achievement is attributed to a year of strong operational delivery. Building on its performance, the company unveiled a strategic roadmap to drive sustained growth and support Nigeria's energy transition through 2030. The plan prioritizes increased oil and gas production and outlines a $60 billion investment pipeline across the energy value chain.
This outcome was propelled by several critical drivers: enhancing operational efficiency across all our businesses, the positive impact on our downstream market reforms, and our unveiling commitment to cost discipline. Financially, we have never been stronger or better positioned for tomorrow.
The 2024 financials highlight NNPCL's strengthened financial resilience and enhanced operational efficiency, with a revenue of 45.1 trillion, which is 88% year-on-year growth, in addition to profit after tax of 5.4 trillion, which translates to 64% year-on-year growth, and earnings per share of 27 naira 7 kobo, which is 64% year-on-year growth.
The fundamentals and the ambitions we have is to focus on operational excellence, technical excellence, and more investments.
He reaffirmed the company's commitment to delivering value to Nigerians. A roadmap for sustained growth and energy security unveiled by the NNPC Limited is deliberate on accelerating investment across upstream operations, gas infrastructure, and clean energy to extend growth into the next decade. Key strategic targets include increasing crude oil production to 2 million barrels per day by 2027 and 3 million barrels per day by 2030. Growing natural gas production to 10 billion cubic feet per day by 2027 and 12 billion cubic feet per day by 2030. The company is also set on completing major gas infrastructure projects such as the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano AKK Escravos-Lagos pipeline system, pipelines to strengthen domestic supply and regional integration. Simultaneously mobilizing $60 billion in investments across the upstream, midstream and downstream sectors by 2030. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Africa's creative economy is set to get a boost as policymakers, investors and creators converged Arts, the Africa Tourism and Creative Economy Expo aimed to lift Africa's global trade share from 3% to 10% by 2030 under Agenda 2030. Ikemini Williams has the details.
The Africa Tourism and Creative Economy Expo opened in Abuja, uniting policymakers, investors, creators and cultural leaders from across the continent. Organized by Nigeria's Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, together with Afroculture Limited. The two-day event aims to raise Africa's global trade share from below 3% to at least 10% by 2030 under the new Agenda 2030 framework.
Global tourism revenue stands at a staggering sum of $11 trillion at the moment, and we of the opinion that Africa is so richly blessed in terms of tourism that taking just a paltry 5% wouldn't reflect who we are. This is more like a family meeting for us to, like I said, look inwards and design implementable frameworks that will enable us do better on the global trade map and do better when it comes to global tourism revenue.
Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Barrister Hannatu Musa Musawa, represented by Permanent Secretary Mukhtar Yawale Mohammed, said the expo would celebrate Africa's creative power while accelerating intra-African trade under the AFCFTA agreement.
Culture attracts tourism, and when it attracts tourism, it attracts people from both within the country, within the culture, and even outside the culture, and therefore it makes people's movement and brings money. It also attracts people from outside the country, and therefore you have increase in traffic. When people come to visit your culture, to visit your environment, they spend money.
The governor is interested in seeing how that would support the creative economy of the people of Katsina State and indeed the region. Some of the things from his project, you will see that they are quite ambitious and he means it. He had already marked places for like the largest equestrian city in Africa to showcase our Durbar, where you have a special purpose Durbar.
A highlight of the opening session was the introduction of Culture Meter, a digital monitoring tool designed to track real-time progress of African nations in tourism and the creative economy. The tool will provide a dashboard for policymakers to measure outcomes and guide future investment. In Abuja, Ikemini Williams, NTA News.
The death has been announced of Itsu Basangi and former military governor of Bauchi State, Abu Ali. Kogi State Governor Ahmad Usman Ododo made this known in a post on his Facebook wall. The message shows that incident occurred in the early hours of Monday, November 24th, 2025, due to complications arising from old age. And that concludes the news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Comfort Fashim.